Hey guys, just a reminder to utilize the pause button as you're listening to the lecture so that you can transfer information to your reading guide. Okay, let's get started. Let's talk about saving money. We know what to save because we've learned what Dave Ramsey has taught us. It's actually so important that he focused 2 of his 7 baby steps on saving. The first baby step, to save $1,000 in an emergency fund. And when ready, the third baby step, to save 3 to 6 months worth of expenses in an emergency fund. But why should we save? What are the motivating factors that make saving an important financial step? Let's explore this a little bit deeper. Why save? One of the first main reasons is happiness. A 2015 survey from Ally Bank found that saving money is one of the best habits people can take to increase happiness. Among those polled with savings accounts, 38% of people said they felt extremely or very happy. In comparison, only 29% of those without savings accounts felt the same way. Overall, 84% of people said saving money makes them feel good, ahead of eating healthy at 74% and enjoying their work at 68%. I guess those that said money can't buy happiness may have been wrong. The more you save, the more likely you are to be happy. Of those who said they felt extremely or very happy, 34% had less than $20,000 in savings, while 42% had $20,000 to $100,000 in savings. Furthermore, 57% who felt happy had $100,000 in savings or more. The connection between the size of your savings account and your level of happiness may seem obvious, but here's something that may surprise you. Saving money actually affects happiness more than how much you earn, according to the survey from Ally Bank. Another reason that saving can be important is because of dreams. We all have our own dreams, but many dream about retirement and what retirement might bring them. If your dream retirement includes getting out and seeing the world, you're not alone. Americans want to travel and seize the benefits of getting away from it all during their golden years. But most are not saving enough to make these goals a reality. Travel ranks as one of the top 2 goals for retirement, coming in second only to spending time with family and friends. In fact, 59% of Americans dream of traveling during retirement, and 69% say travel is an important goal worth saving toward, according to Transamerica Center for Retirement Studies and the Global Coalition on Aging. At the same time, only 15% place a high priority on retirement traveling, while just 12% have given a lot of attention to saving for it. The question is travel your retirement goal? If it isn't, what is? And how much is this goal going to cost you? Start saving now to avoid regrets later in life. Retirees were asked how they would have prepared differently for their retirement. Of those with regrets, more than half wish they would have saved more. People of all ages need to plan and save to make their retirement dreams a reality. The last reason of why we should save is because it's for security, or as Dave calls them, our emergency funds. In case you didn't notice, life is full of surprises. Dave calls this Murphy's Law. If you don't have a savings cushion, these surprises can quickly turn into emergencies that lead to additional debt and create a vicious cycle of never getting ahead. The number of people who do not have a personal financial safety net hasn't improved in recent years. In fact, 44% of American households have less than 3 months worth of savings and are unable to cover an unforeseen expense. without going deeper into debt, according to the Corporation of Enterprise Development. Making matters worse, the 56% of consumers who have subprime credit scores may return to predatory loans to cover a financial emergency, prolonging financial insecurity. We'll talk about those types of loans when we talk about credit and debt. So let's now look at, now that we've established the reasons why to save, well, how much should we save? What kind of goals should we set for ourselves? Everyone makes a different amount each month. They also have different financial obligations each month. It is important to realize that one set dollar amount is not going to work for every single person. But here are some basic guidelines you should try to follow when determining how much you should save each month. The standard that many experts set is that you should save at least 10% of your take-home income. This is a good starting point to save 10% of your salary. It is an easy way to start because it is a set amount of money each month. It should not be that difficult to save 10% of your income, but you may want to increase this amount over time. Another common way to measure whether or not you are saving enough money is to check to see if you are saving until it hurts. If you feel like things are just a little bit tight, then you are saving a good amount of money. You may want to lighten up enough that you have breathing room in your budget, but tight enough that you still have to watch what you're spending each month. And it's important to note that you can always go back and change the amount you're saving from month to month based on what's comfortable with your budget. You may want to work on increasing the amount you save. It is not unreasonable to begin saving 20% of your income or even more each month. If you make a significant amount more than you need to live on each month, then you really should save a lot of money. It is important to consider this, especially when you are living at home and have very few expenses. As you begin to look at the ways that you can save money and get out of debt, you will be surprised at the power that your money has. It will also begin to grow very quickly if you are diligent with your savings each month. You can use strategies throughout your 20s and your college life to help you save, and we'll discuss those later. The earlier you can build good financial habits, though, the better off you will be. Saving money consistently is an important financial habit to establish now. If you make saving automatic, it can be even easier to save money each month. This can be done by setting up automatic transfers within your checking and savings accounts. This allows you to save without spending time each month focusing on it. Setting up that automatic transfer is the easiest way to do this. But let's look more specifically at what savings goals can be and how to set them. A good way to follow savings goals is to consider writing SMART goals for yourself. A SMART goal is a goal that is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic and relevant, and time-based. In other words, a goal that is very clear and easily understood. Let's look at each part of a SMART goal more closely. Specific. The goal must clearly state what is to be achieved, by whom, where, and when it is to be achieved. Sometimes it may even state why that goal is important. Not all of these questions will apply to every goal, but it is important to ask all these questions in order to assess how specific your goal is and make it as clear as possible. Measurable goals. Measurability applies to both the end result and the milestones along the way to attaining the goal. It answers the question of quantity, how much, how often, or how many. The milestones are signs along the way that will tell you that you are on the right track to achieving your goal. For example, Your ultimate goal may be to make $60,000 a year, but your milestones may be to make $5,000 every month, which will add up to $60,000 a year. So by focusing on making the $5,000 every month, you will ultimately reach your goal of $60,000 in a year. This makes the goal more attainable because it is easier to think of ways to make $5,000 every month than to come up with $60,000 all at once. It has been said that what cannot be measured cannot be managed. This is often true when it comes to goals. Sometimes it is difficult to measure a goal, but at such times there is usually an indirect measure that can be applied. So now let's talk about attainability. You should ensure that the goals you are setting are achievable. Firstly, you must believe that you can manage to do what you are setting out to do. If you set goals that are unbelievable, even to yourself, it is very unlikely you will achieve them. This is equally important when setting goals for a group, such as in a corporate setting. Remember, most jobs are not done on an individual basis anymore. If the people for whom the goals are being set do not believe that they are attainable, it is unlikely they will work wholeheartedly towards them. Agreement and participation in SMART goal setting process is important in such cases to ensure that most people are happy with how realistic the goals are. And secondly, the goals must be possible. All things being equal, there is no point setting a goal that is not possible. No matter how hard you try, this won't happen. Be careful, however, that you do not limit yourself based on what other people believe to be achievable. Set your own standards by understanding your own abilities, strengths, and weaknesses. Let's look at relevance. Your goals must be relevant to what you want to achieve in the short term and in the long term. Understanding your organizational and personal vision, mission, and purpose is critical to this respect. Sometimes you can be tempted to do something simply because it is easy and sounds great, only to discover later on that it has no long-term importance to what you want to achieve as an individual. Do those things that are most important and in line with your long-term vision and mission. Lastly, let's look at time-based. This sometimes overlaps with the goal of being specific, but it aims to ensure that you put a time frame to your goals. Someone said a goal is a dream with a time frame to it. Simply deciding by when you want to achieve something can be a good motivator. It can prevent you from procrastinating because you know what you're working for has a deadline. It's often said that failing to plan is planning to fail. If you find yourself unable to set a SMART goal, it is more than likely that your future plans are not clear enough and need to be worked on. Furthermore, do not get tempted to skip the process of SMART goal setting and just get on with it without fully analyzing your goals. Doing this careful planning at the beginning will save you lots of time and disappointment at a later stage, and you will avoid making costly mistakes. So now that we've covered what SMART goals are and why saving money is important and what some good rules of thumb are for saving money and setting saving goals, let's take some time to set some SMART goals for ourselves. We will now move to our activity for the day. So when you're ready and when your reading guide is completed, take off your headphones and let me know that you have finished. Thank you.